Hello everyone, welcome to another Outlook session with FXGiants. A happy new month to everyone. So today we're going to be looking at Euro USD, USDJPY, gold, and US oil. So this is Euro USD monthly time frame. We can see that overall it has been bearish. But if you look to your left, you would see that price has come into a previous key zone. It was a resistance before and it's now acting as a support. Now, last month closed with a massive rejection from that level. So what should we be expecting this month? Okay, now riding lower to the weekly time frame, we can see that price has been bullish in the past few weeks. But if you look upwards here, this shaded zone here, this was a previous support which will possibly act as a resistance now. So what we'll be expecting is to see price buy into this resistance level, then a possible sell continuation to the downside. Now let's move to the daily time frame for clarity. Now, if you see on the daily time frame here, you would see that we have a pattern that has formed here. We talked about this last week, a head and shoulders pattern. Now there's been a clear breakout from that pattern, and what we are expecting now is a possible push back into that zone, retest that neckline, then a sell to the downside. Now let's look at it quickly on the 4 hours time frame. Last week was heavily was more of a consolidation though. So what we want to see now, this was let's mark up last week. This was last week. We had this massive consolidation. So what we want to see is a possible breakout of this consolidation, then a retest, then a push back into this area. Once we have a retest, we can look for longs into this area, but it's going to be a short-term buy. Then we can expect an overall sell to the downside. Now, this sell remains valid except the daily high is taken. Now, let's mark up our daily high here, this high here, just by this shoulder. Until this high is taken, our sell bias remains intact. But for a short time, let's see how price progresses within the week. Maybe we can look for longs into that area before a sell continuation to the downside. Now, USD JPY. Looking at USD JPY monthly time frame, we can see that overall it has been bullish for the past few months. But last month closed with a massive sell signal. Yeah, and we can also hinge that on the fact that market has been bullish for a long time, and we could expect some retracements before a continuation to the upside. Now we have some zones marked up here. We have a zone at 125 level, which price can actually sell back into, and we have another zone here at 130.500 level, which price can sell into. Now let's slide lower to the weekly time frame for clarity. Now looking at the weekly time frame, this is that area marked up 130.500 level. You can see that that was a previous support zone which could possibly act as a resistance now. So we want to see price sell back into this area before a push, a buy continuation to the upside. Now let's go to the daily for clarity. Let's see daily. All right, on the daily, this is that zone marked up here. So we just want to see it tap into this zone, then maybe we can look for longs to the upside if it shows itself. But overall, until this low here is taken, our bias remains bullish. That's overall bullish, but for the meantime we can still be expecting lower prices. But once this daily low is taken here, then the bias changes overall bearish. All right, let's move to gold next. All right, on gold you can see that this zone is still holding strongly. We've been in this zone all through last month. Price tapped into this zone here, this support zone, and we had a massive rejection to the upside from that zone. So let's move to the weekly time frame for more details. Now if you look at the weekly time frame here, you would see that price tapped into a previous support zone, and we've been having some push to the upside. But we won't neglect this zone that we still have here. Price can actually come back into this zone here. That's about 1779 zone. So we could see a sell continuation from this zone. But at the moment, price is still looking bullish though. So let's look at the daily time frame for clarity. I'll take this off. Now, if you see the zone I marked, that was the previous support zone, which can now act as a resistance. So we may still experience a little push to the upside, maybe just to tap into this zone, then maybe a sell continuation to the downside. Um, All right, nothing much on the 4 hours time frame, but if you look carefully here, you can see that we've broken out of this trend line. We tested this zone, so we could experience that push before this overall sell to the downside. Now let's look at US oil quickly. US oil on the monthly time frame, you can see that price has been bearish for a while, but it has tapped into some key levels, as you can clearly see here. We've tapped into a key level at about 88 level, and price rejected massively from that zone last month. So let's slide lower for clarity. All right, so we can see that this 88.70 zone, which was a previous support zone, price tapped into it, and we've not really had any serious movement in the past few months. It's just been more like a consolidation on the higher time frame here. So let's move to the daily time frame to see it. Yes, you can see on the daily that it has been more like a consolidation within a particular range. Now we have this previous support turned resistance zone marked up here, and we have this resistance zone marked up here. You can see that price has not broken out of that zone in the past few months. We have just been seeing market ranging within that level. So what do we expect this week? Um, Here on US oil, we can expect to see price break below this zone, and if price does, we can expect lower prices to about 88 level. And if for any reason price breaks above the shaded zone here, this resistance zone, we can expect higher prices up until about 106 level or even higher. But overall, as long as this high marked up with this trend line remains intact, our bias remains bearish until we see um, this high taken out. So that's going to be it for today. If you like this video, don't forget to like and also comment in all our social media platforms. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on TikTok, we are on Twitter, and we are also on YouTube. And the name of our channel is FXGiants NG. So we are going to give updates as the market progresses within the week. Till we come your way again, have a wonderful week.